Hi and welcome to this week's vlog, my bedroom and a bed full of clothes. I'm off on an adventure tomorrow. So I think I talked about it last week or the week before, but one of my things for this year is to spend more quality time with my husband. And he has been up in Lincolnshire for a few days. Look, who has just come to join us? Florence. I'm actually lost for words. You are a little pickle and you are not allowed on Mummy's bed, particularly when I'm in the middle of this. She's such a... No. Back in a tick. You are so naughty. You are so naughty. Go on, out you go. I have shut her out because she's just too needy. Anyhow, yes, one of my things this year, I'm sure I've talked to you about it before, is to spend more time with my loved ones. And I know that might sound ridiculous, but like quality time where I'm really enjoying their company and I'm present, not distracted by other things. And so, yes, we are having a night in Norfolk together tomorrow and I'm super excited. So I'm actually leaving early tomorrow morning and we'll be back late on Thursday evening. And I've got a meeting in Norfolk en route to meet Simon. So the whole thing is actually tied in quite nicely, but I'm just getting out my clothes and working out what I need to take. And I should have done this afternoon, but I got waylaid with various things. One of the things was BT. So they have come. You may or may not be up to date with the saga. This goes back, well, 4 years or more. But they have fitted fibre before Christmas to the outside of the house, and today it has come inside. But I'm not rejoicing yet. It's working. They have connected the router, but it only works if you're right by it. So that's not right. But I decided today I wasn't going to spend hours trying to figure it out because I didn't have hours to try and figure it out today. I wanted to clean the house. I have whizzed the hoover around top to bottom. I've done our bathroom. I have done 3 loads of washing. I have dusted downstairs. I've done the horses. I've done the dogs. I've done a food shop. I've cooked. I've filmed a couple of TikToks. And I filmed and asked Charlie how to. So it's kind of been a busy day. A nice day, but quite busy. And so I'm only getting round to doing this now. And I have got out way more stuff than I actually need. But my motto is be prepared. And I'm not exactly sure of how the next few days are going to pan out. And obviously my main thing is to spend quality time with my husband and have the meeting that I'm going to. But I may be able to share some of it with you. But if not, I'm going to chat to you about some other things. So we will just see how it pans out. But yes, my motto is be prepared. I've never been good at travelling light, packing light, because I like to have a plan B and a plan C. So that is what we've got going on here. I am just going to be wearing jeans, so that's kind of easy. So I've got a cashmere polo neck in case it's really cold, because it has been really cold. I've got a blouse here and a sleeveless top, which I'm actually going to wear that to travel in tomorrow. I've got a silk scarf if I go for the blouse option because I hate my neck getting cold. I have sent Sigh with my wellies and a big coat and a couple of big scarves and a hat. I don't travel light. I have got 3 pairs of socks. These are from bed and these are for tomorrow and the next day. I've got a pretty top for the evening, but if I don't want to be too pretty, I've just got that and a sweater, and I've got a glitzy cardigan to go with that because we're staying in a hotel and I don't know what the form is. I've got a couple of my H&M white long sleeve t-shirts because I live in those. So those are basically my clothes. I could take half that amount, but I'm not going to. I have got my underwear in here. I never go anywhere without my hairdryer. This is brilliant because you can just take that off. You don't even need to put a nozzle on. You can just rough dry your hair and then you can style it with this. So that is definitely coming. And then I've got these, which I'm taking because they're quite battered. I love them. Sigh's got my wellies, and I think I'm going to get there before him, and I might want to go for a walk, and I'm going to wear my long suede boots to travel in, and I won't want to go for a walk in those because I think we are right beside the sea, and when I'm right beside the sea I like to go for a walk on the beach, so those will do if I'm there before him without my wellies. And then for the evening, I've just got these boots. They are chocolate brown suede and they are from Ash. Actually, those are from Ash as well. I love Ash footwear. I think I have 4 pairs of their boots. I've got these in a slightly lighter colour and some navy ones too. So I just I like to put my shoes in shoe bags and I like to put my underwear in a bag too because then it's all together. In fact, the reason why I do it, I once went to stay somewhere very, very, very smart and the maid unpacked my case for me. And I wasn't anticipating a maid to unpack my case and I was embarrassed. So now there are not going to be any maids where we're going unpacking my case, but I always just put my undies in there because you never know what could happen. And that goes back to my motto, be prepared. So I've got my case here and I'm hoping that this little lot is going to fit quite neatly in. I also need to take my laptop because I'm doing some work. I've got a blazer which I'm travelling in tomorrow because Sigh's got my big heavy coat and I just thought I've got to go through London. I'm actually being very brave tomorrow. For me, I'm training all the way to Norfolk from West Sussex. It's a bit of a mission. It's going to be totally fine. I get the train to London, across London to King's Cross, and then I get the train out to Norfolk. So I don't want to overheat by taking my big Holland Cooper coat because I hate it when I feel flustered, and I can feel quite flustered on the underground, so I don't want to feel like that. So I'm taking a blazer which is much easier to put over your arm than a big coat. Now this has arrived in the post today and I haven't opened it. I've saved it for you. I just slit it open. It's from Wild and it is a new deodorant to try. They're on a mission through our forest planting partnerships. We're on a mission. We're proud to say we are a climate positive company, meaning the sale of every deodorant helps reduce carbon dioxide from our atmosphere. And I've got it with 3 refillable deodorants. And this, I mean, I need to work out how it works properly. But this, once you've bought it, you just get the refills. I'm going to go with, I got 3 different ones to try. Cotton Fresh and Sea Salt. I think I'm going to try this one first. I've heard really great things about this, so we're going to give it a whirl and I will let you know what I think. Seems quite intuitive. I figured it out. You twist the bottom and that pushes the deodorant up, which is very clever. So I shall let you know how I get on with Wild. I will keep you posted, but I'm excited to try that. I have heard really, really good things about it. So that's going to go into the bathroom, and I'm going to put this little lot in my tiny case. We will fit. We will. Oh, these are quite handy. I keep these because I might end up taking one with me. They just slot on the top of your bag, and they're from the airport, and I just keep them in my little hand luggage bag. So, shoes at the bottom, hairdryer down here. Then I need to put my makeup bag and toiletries in, which I'm actually going to do in the morning. I think we're going to fit all of this in perfectly well. I do roll things if needs be. So I think I'm just thinking, do I want that scarf tomorrow? I think I want that scarf tomorrow. Pop that in there. We are just about going to fit, and then I might put my toiletries in here because I don't have another bag bigger, and I really don't need to take any more than that. And I know we've got plenty of room, it's absolutely fine. And actually my toiletries, my makeup bag's not that enormous, so I will squidge that in. Anyway, I am going to go and paint my nails and watch some telly with Coco. She said, "Mummy, can we snuggle together?" Yes, of course we can. I've got a few more things that I need to get, but I will do that a little bit later on. But for now, it's nails. Good morning. I'm here at the train station. I've come into the waiting room because it's quite chilly outside. It's not as chilly as it has been, so I'm quite lucky. I don't know why I'm whispering. It's quite echoey in here. I'm feeling really excited. Really excited for my train journey. I'm completely and utterly on time. I have rushed around like a complete and utter headless chicken this morning, to be honest. Horse is done, dog's done, Coco's gone to school, so my friend dropped me here and is taking Coco to school, which is perfect because I wanted to try and get the earlier train so I get up in good time. There's no point kind of hanging around, and I've got quite a lot I need to cram in to today. So I'm wearing my blazer, I'm very smart. This is from Joseph, but it's pre-loved from Juliana. I've got jeans, and you can't really see, but I'm wearing my House of Brewer boots that were taken in. I have got white blouse, and I decided to go for this scarf because actually it was quite cold doing the horses, and I thought my little silk scarf wasn't going to keep me warm enough. Got everything packed, and really, really excited for my adventure. So I'm going to train up to London, and then the underground, and then out to Norfolk. And the man is, hang on, let me get my words out. I'm feeling overexcited and a bit giddy from my adventure. The ticket man here at our local train station, he was so helpful. He was like, well, you could avoid London going to Three Bridges and then get the train to Cambridge. And I thought, oh, I don't know, that sounds a bit scary, so I'm sticking to my original plan, but it should be fine. I have got lots to keep me entertained on the journey. I have signed up to a photography course,
and an editing course. So I'm going to see if I can do some of that. I've also got a YouTube video that I need to edit, and I have brought my tapestry with me, so hopefully I get to do a little bit of that. And lots of you have asked if I'll show you how to do it. So once I'm there, I actually put my tripod in, which yeah, there was room in my case. It's amazing how much you can squidge in. So I popped that in, and I will show you maybe later, maybe tomorrow. We'll just see how the timing pans out. But anyway, hopefully I've got 10 minutes to wait before my train arrives. Just arrived at our hotel for this evening, and I thought I'd give you a quick tour. It is the Victoria at Holkham, and oh, this is the bathroom. That's my bag there. Oh, I can probably give you an outfit of the day in this mirror. So I've got my House of Brewer boots on. These ones, I'm not very good at the angles, I need to get better at that. Jeans, and then this green knit is from Jigsaw. I've had it for a while, and I'm just wearing it with a blouse from Jules. And then my navy blazer, which is pre-loved from Juliana, and I don't know where I look. I think I want to look and talk at the mirror or the camera. I don't really know, I'm so bad at this. Anyway, I've just put the kettle on to have a cuppa, so let me take you in to our room. Beautiful painting. Let's actually flick the kettle off so it's not annoying. Oh, that light's a little bit flickery, but beautiful desk area. Gorgeous, gorgeous shell. And then you can see it is pretty grey. It is pretty miserable. It's cold and it's not very nice. I was going to go down to the beach, which is just down over there, but I don't think I'm going to. This is also part of the hotel, but this building and the next building, I think the next building, the one behind, you can just see the chimney. Hang on, let me point that chimney there. That's not dog friendly, although we don't have any dogs with us, but we're in the main hotel. And then let me just show you. So that is the main drive up to Holkham Hall. And let me just, oh, light's a bit flickery there, but gorgeous bed. And then this little bar area here. So I thought I'd chat to you while my cup of tea is cooling down. I've just made a cup of peppermint tea. Simon's not going to be here for a couple of hours, so actually I thought it was a good opportunity to probably crack on with a little bit of work, and I might even have a little rest as well. It's been a really good journey, so easy. I was a bit, I suppose apprehensive is the word, because I haven't taken the train for such a long time. And the underground was really easy. I used to commute up to London when I was first married and pregnant with Archie, so it just reminded me of those days. The underground was easy. I was half an hour early to get my train out of King's Cross, so there was time to get a sandwich and go to the loo, and I was 10 minutes early on the train, which was perfect. I did quite a lot of my photography course, which I signed up to, which was really helpful. So that was a good use of my time. And then I have had my meeting, one of the reasons for coming up here, for a couple of hours. And And now I am here waiting for my husband to arrive. I haven't been here for years. Well, actually, we came with the children and saw a production of Wind in the Willows in the Walled Garden pre-COVID. I think they were quite little, which is really lovely. I've got great friends that live not that far away as well, so I love this part of the world. And I was here about, I'm trying to work out how many years ago it was, 20 something years ago, because a great family friend of ours actually was really involved when the current Earl of Leicester took over running the estate with his wife. And Henry, my friend, was their head chef and was really, really involved in renovating this and kind of getting it well known. So fond memories. Sadly, Henry died the same year as Mummy died, about 6 years ago, which is so sad. He was far too young, but I'm in close touch with his brother and mum, so I had a chat with them saying I was coming up to stay at the Vic, and we were chatting about it and reminiscing. And I do have a terrible memory of being here. I think I was about 14 or 15, and I had quite a naughty pony who actually, a lovely friend, Hannah, also used to own the pony. And he was quite cheeky and could be quite a handful. Anyway, he took one look at the sea on the beach here at Holkham and bolted back to the trailer. And it's a very big beach. If you know it, you'll know it's a huge expanse of sand, and I was pretty damn terrified. And I don't think I've ridden on the beach since. Coco keeps saying, Mummy, she's ridden on the beach. Mummy, should we take Colin? I'm not sure Mummy is brave enough to take Colin to the beach. We'll see. So I have those memories. But anyway, it's really lovely to be up here. I wanted to go and explore and have to walk around, but you know what, I am actually quite tired. It's getting dark, it's cold, it's damp, so I'm just going to stay put and snuggle and explore tomorrow. But it's a real treat being up here. And actually, while I'm here, I've got a bit of time, I'm going to take this off. In fact, Simon's ringing me, so I'm going to chat to him and come back to you in a mo. That was my darling husband. He's on his way. Yes, he said, have we got a nice big basket? Yes, we have got a nice big basket. That's what we call it, a basket. So actually, I thought I would chat to you about relationships. I am absolutely no expert, although we've been married for 16 years this year. Sure, it's 16 years this year. Wow, time flies by. But something got me thinking. It was actually somebody that I follow on TikTok said something in one of their videos which made me think, oh, I'm going to chat to you guys about this. Because when I was in, my early 20s, the dating game wasn't... I didn't enjoy it at all. And I think now it's even harder because it's all online. I mean, in my day, it was sort of, you'd been invited to a dinner party and there might be somebody that you liked, or somebody that you knew from school, or a friend of a friend's, or whatever it might be. Now it's a whole different kettle of fish. But I was in America. We've got family in America. And I was staying with my cousin and his wife. Gosh, this is a long time ago. I must have been about 22. I was 22. And they asked if I had a boyfriend or whatever. And I said, no, I'm single. I've had a few disasters. And my cousin's wife said to me, Charlie, I'm going to give you this bit of advice. Say yes to everybody that asks you on a date, as long as they're not a complete fruitcake. Because you never know where it may lead. And do you know what? I think of that advice frequently. It was the best advice I was ever given. And I'm sure I've talked to you before about this. But
Simon asked me on a date, and actually he didn't ask me on a date. This is the story. He told my boss that he fancied me. My boss told me, and I said, not interested. He's way too old and too fat. He was a lot bigger then. He shrunk a bit. He shrunk a lot, and then he's put a bit more on. Anyway, Simon started working as a personal trainer. He lost 3 stone. And in that, and this is over a period of a year and a half. In that time, I had got to know him, and I'd got chatting to him, and I really liked him as a person. And then he said to me that he was going away for a week, and I said, oh, where are you going? Because he was a client at work. We rented out one of his properties, and actually I was involved in refurbishing one of them, which is how I got to know him. And he would call up about worky things, and we would get chatting. And I said, oh, where are you going? And he said, I'm going to Lourdes. And I said, well, what are you doing there? And he said, oh, it's with the Knights of Malta. It's a sort of Catholic pilgrimage that they do every year, and they, take sick people, and it gives their carers in the UK some respite from looking after them, and we look after them in the hospital there. And I said, are you Catholic? And he said, no, but it's a really special, amazing week. It's very, I found it very life-changing, and it's something that I like to do. I thought, wow, you are a nice guy if you give up a week of your time to go and do something for other people like that. And that made me kind of think, yeah, you're a good guy. Anyway, that was in the May, and in the beginning of December, he asked if I would have lunch with him. And I said, I don't do lunch. Well, I didn't technically, I could have had a lunch break, and sometimes I did. I'd walk up, and do some shopping or whatever, but normally I just had a sandwich at my desk. So I said, oh, I don't really do lunch. And he said, well, what about dinner? And I said, yes, we can do that. Anyway, long story, we had dinner, we had a wonderful evening, and the rest is history. But I think, my cousin's wife, I'd been judgmental about his looks. I said, oh no, he's too old and he's too fat. And I just wrote him off immediately from age and weight. And yes, he did need to lose weight. He was very big. He's still a big chap. He was really quite humongous. But I spent the time to get to know him, and his personality is incredible. And we're very happy, and it's a great relationship. But I think the other thing that I want to talk to you about now is the last 16 years of marriage. And I think what's spurred me to talk about this, and this may resonate with some of you and it may not at all, and you may think, oh, Charlie, shut up, what are you prattling on about this week? But marriage takes work, it takes effort, it's not always easy, it's not always laughter and roses and happiness. It has its ups and its downs, and I think you need to think long and hard about marriage and not just jump in head first. And we did, and because there's an age gap, I thought long and hard about it. I got some advice from, and actually Simon doesn't even know this, from some very dear people in my life that I really value their opinion, and we had long conversations. And so I went in with my eyes wide open. Simon hadn't been married before. He'd had one particular long-term relationship which hadn't worked out, and he didn't have children, so I didn't have those complications. But there is an age gap, but he is very, very young at heart, and I'm quite old for my age. So actually I think we meet somewhere happily in the middle, which is probably about 50.
But you know, there are ups and downs, and it's not always plain sailing. And I think lots of people at the moment that I know are getting divorced, they are splitting up, and it's really, really sad. And another thing that sort of spurred me to talk to you about this is a friend asked me last week, actually. She said, you know, how are you? We went for a walk, and she said, how are you and Simon? And I said, do you know what? We're great. We're really great. We're in a really great place. And it just made me kind of reflect back on, you know, I think you go through periods of change, and I refer to them as seasons. And I'm not talking about the seasons of the year, autumn, summer, winter and spring. I'm talking about, you know, seasons in our life. And, you know, when you've got tiny young children, it's full on, and carving out time for the two of you where really you just want to go to bed or possibly read a book or just have nobody wanting any demands from you for a moment because you've had mama constantly all day, or whatever it might be. You may not be a parent but just full on with work, and then you just want to come down and come home and just decompress for a bit without having the demands of a relationship. You know, so there's seasons that are busy, hectic, you don't have much time for each other. And I feel now we're in a season where the children, I can leave for a night. It has been a logistical nightmare, but I can leave and have a night with him. And I think it's so important to make time to do things together. When I started doing Ask Charlie, there was a big shift in how things had been at home. I was, you know, I did have another business, but it was not very full on. And I very much worked it around, you know, work hours, and it never went into the evening, things like that. So it was a big period of adjustment for Simon in particular, when I'd say, I'm sorry, you know, I'm working, or be quiet, I've got to film something, or whatever it might be. And that did take time, but he now gets it. He now understands it. I mean, he didn't even know what Instagram was when I started. I didn't know what a hashtag was, and I'd never watched a YouTube video before I started, so it's pretty hopeless. I mean, I watched odd, like, I don't know, Googled how to, I don't know, blow up a bicycle tire or something, but and a YouTube video had popped up, but I didn't watch YouTubers per se on a regular basis, or in fact at all. So you know, that was another period of adjustment. But it's about communication. Communication is so important. It's about being honest with your feelings. It's about saying, you know, actually, darling, I just want an early night, or do you know what, that doesn't suit me, do you mind if we don't do that, rather than saying yes and then not having a gracious heart and it not being a pleasant experience. It's best to be honest. It's best to talk to one another. Communication is so important. I was talking to some friends the other day, and one of them had just got a new job, and again the dynamics at home had changed, and they weren't communicating with one another about how they were feeling. One of them was really tired because they were working really hard, and the other one was feeling resentful because the other one wasn't around, and they weren't talking. And they actually both independently came to me, and I said, talk to one another, tell them how you're feeling. That's, you know, because this can be resolved. It doesn't mean that you have to quit at the first hurdle. Talk, take time, try not to shout and rant. I mean, there have been times when I've shouted at my husband. I think when we had our first COVID lockdown, and he suggested that I stopped Ask Charlie and focused on being a full-time mother, housewife and homeschooling mistress, I shouted at him, and he got a real flea in his ear. Anyhow, it is just, yeah, I just thought, because I'm up here,
because I'm spending some time with my husband. I've been so excited about coming, you know, even if it's just a night and a day without, you know, the interruptions of life at home. It's really special, and time together is really important. It's really crucial, even if it's just a dog walk together, or even if it's just a, you know, going out for a cup of tea. Simon was getting his car cleaned last week, and he said, darling, I'm getting my car cleaned, I'm in the garage, do you want to come and join me for a cup of tea? I had to go and do a school run, so I said, sorry, I can't. But actually, it would have been really lovely if I could have just taken that time to sit and have a cup of tea with him and chat out of the house where the phone's not ringing or pinging or this is happening or that's happening. So yes, that's today's prattle for you all. I am going to actually do a little bit of editing now. I've got a video that I need to edit and a few bits and pieces, emails that I need to reply to, which I haven't done yet, and then maybe even a little bit more of my photography course. We've got dinner at 7:45 downstairs, so yes, but I will probably, I don't know if I'll chat to you later or tomorrow. We'll just see how it pans out. Anyway, I hope that waffle was helpful and maybe resonated with some of you. Sigh and I have come for an early morning walk before breakfast down to see the sea. We're not going to walk out because the tide's out and it would be a very, very long walk. But it's grey and a bit overcast, but it's still really, really beautiful down here. This is such a majestic sight. These are the fallow deer here at Holkham in the parkland. There's so many, and I wouldn't even want to guess how many are in front of me right now, but definitely at least 100. And they're obviously very used to people. I'm not too close, I've zoomed in, but they're not bothered at all. Got a quiet moment, and I thought I would just share with you what I have in this bag that I often carry around with me and don't always get to do, but it's my needlepoint, my tapestry, and this is an Erman tapestry kit. I really love their kits, and I'll leave them linked down below. You have got your pattern there to work from, and then this is the tapestry itself, which I will make into a cushion at some point. It's going to take me quite a long time to finish off. I put a little bit of masking tape around the edge because otherwise your wool catches, and that's really annoying. You can put this onto a frame,
and embroider from the frame, which does make life slightly easier. However, I find if you've got a frame, it's quite bulky to transport around, whereas I can easily transport this. This I'm using just a half cross stitch. Let me see if you can see that stitch. It's just really, really simple. You've just got to make sure that you are going in the right direction. I just fold it so it's manageable for my hand, and then literally work out where I'm going and put my stitch in and up through. And I find that you could actually chat to somebody. You don't have to give it your full attention. Maybe you do when you first start, but it's you know, just quite easy to sit and you know, maybe have the TV on in the background or the radio, or be chatting to a friend. But I love just sitting, stitching away. So this is one of my hobbies, which I really enjoy doing. So I thought I would share that with you, because I do often talk about it, and I've often had people say, you know, Charlie, can you show us how to do it? I have got a basic sewing course that is available if anybody wants to do that, and you can just, you know, take the course anytime that suits you. And I've got all my sort of top tips in there of how to use machine and hand stitching and altering things. Sewing is something that I started as a child. I think I got my first sewing machine when I was 8, and it was from like a junk shop in Inverness, and it was a Singer machine, and you had to spin the wheel by hand, and I just adored that machine. It was wonderful, and I've got quite a collection of sewing machines at home. I don't have nearly enough time to sew. I would love to have more time, but I know that when life gets a little bit calmer and I'm not doing so much, I will have time to stitch and sew. But that is my tapestry, and I will leave their details linked down below, because they have wonderful kits and I love the colours that come with them. So that is that, and I've got my bundle of wool here. But I just did realise the time, and it has brightened up no end, and I think I'm going to go back down to the beach for a bit of a walk. So I'm going to do that, and then we've got a lovely lunch planned, which I'm looking forward to before we head back to Sussex later on this afternoon, and we shall be back this evening to see the wee ones. Holkham is the most beautiful estate. Look at this gorgeous little folly here behind me. It's so lovely having a bit of time to explore. The sun has actually gone. It's about to start raining. The last time Simon and I were... Oh, I'm going to have to hide under the trees. The last time Simon and I were away together was... Gosh, I think it was last spring when we went to Barcelona for the seafood show. I can't think of another time that we've been away, but it's just really, really lovely. And I highly recommend it if you can escape for even just, you know, 24 hours. It's really good for you. So we have had a really lovely time up in Norfolk, and we are heading home. Sigh's driving. You're going to smile. Sigh's driving at the moment. I might take over. Well, I will take over for a bit because it's quite a long journey home. But we will be back in time to say goodnight to the wee ones, and I hope that you've enjoyed coming up to Norfolk with me. I hope you've enjoyed what I've shown you, and I will see you again on Tuesday with my how-to, and next week's how-to is how I shop. So I'm sharing with you
yeah, different places that I go to, and